Genesis chapter 1 and 2. Grab a cup of coffee, tea, Milo, or hot cocoa. Get comfortable and enjoy today's Bible story. Close your eyes, breathe in and out. Let's begin from the very beginning. God created heaven and earth. The earth was a formless mass cloaked in darkness. And then God said, "Let there be light." As he looked at the earth with his beautiful voice filled with power, there was light. God was pleased with what he had created. He then separated the light from the darkness, which created day and night. Together, day and night made up one day. God then decided to separate the waters from each other, and he created space between them to separate the waters above from the waters below. God then called the space sky. God did all this on the second day. God then said, "Let the waters beneath the sky be gathered into one place, so dry ground may appear." God named the dry ground land, and he named the waters seas, and God was very pleased with what he had created. Then, with God's beautiful voice, he spoke forth every sort of grass and seed-bearing plant to burst forth into the land. He spoke forth trees that grew seed-bearing fruit. Those seeds will then produce the kinds of plants and trees from which they came. And it was so. God enjoyed the beauty that he created, which had all been done on the third day. God then spoke forth the bright lights in the sky to separate the day from the night. They will be the signs that mark off the seasons, the days, and the years. God said, "Let their light shine down upon the earth." And it was so. For God made two great lights, the sun and the moon. The greater one is the sun, which shines during the day. The lesser one is the moon, which shines during the night. God also made stars. God set these lights in the heavens to light up the earth. They govern the day and the night, to separate the light from the darkness. And God was pleased with his creation, which had all been done on the fourth day. God then decided to fill the earth with animals of all kinds. With his beautiful voice, he spoke forth the waters to be swarmed with fish and other life. He filled the skies with birds of every kind. God created every great sea creature and every sort of fish and every kind of bird. God was pleased with his beautiful creations. God then blessed them all, saying, "Let the fish multiply and fill the oceans. Let the birds increase and fill the earth." All this happened on the fifth day. With God's beautiful voice, he yet again created more beautiful beings. God made all sorts of wild animals, livestock, and small animals, each able to reproduce more of its kind. And God was pleased with them all. God then said, "Let us make people in our image, to be like ourselves. They will be masters over all life, the fish in the sea, the birds of the sky, and all the livestock, wild animals, and small animals." So then God created people in his own image. God patterned them after himself. Male and female, he created them. God blessed them and told them, "Multiply and fill the earth. Be masters over the fish and the birds and over all the animals." God then said, "Look, I have given you seed-bearing plants throughout the earth, and all the fruit trees for your food. I have given all the grass and other green plants to the animals and birds for their food." And so it was. Then God looked over at all he had made and was pleased. He saw that everything was excellent in every way. All this was created on the sixth day. The creation of the heavens and the earth and everything in them was completed. On the seventh day, God rested from all his work. God then blessed the seventh day and declared it a holy day, as it was the day he rested from his work of creating the heavens and the earth. When the Lord God made the heavens and the earth, there was no plants or grain growing on the earth, for the Lord God did not send any rain. There was no one to cultivate the soil, and so God made the water come up out of the ground, and he watered all the land. Then the Lord God formed a man's body from the dust of the ground. He then breathed the breath of life into the man. This is how the man became a living person. The Lord God then planted a garden in Eden. The garden was planted in the east of Eden and placed the man there. The Lord God planted all sorts of trees in the garden, beautiful trees that produced delicious fruit. At the center of the garden, God placed the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. There is a river that flowed through the land of Eden, which would water the garden, then dividing into 4 branches. The one river branch is called Pishon, which flows around the land of Havilah. This is where the gold is found. This gold is exceptionally pure. The second river branch is called Gihon, which flows around the land of Cush. The third river branch is called Tigris. This one flows to the east of Ashur. The fourth branch is called the Euphrates. The Lord God placed the man in the Garden of Eden to take care of him. God had one warning to give the man, and that was that he was allowed to freely eat any fruit in the entire garden except the fruit from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, because if he does, he will die. Then God decided that it was not good for the man to be left alone, and God told him that he will create a companion who will help him. All the animals that God had formed he brought to Adam, so that Adam could give them names, and Adam chose a name for each one of them. He named all the livestock, birds, and wild animals. So the Lord God then put Adam in a deep sleep. He took one of Adam's ribs, then closed him up where he had taken the rib from. God then created a woman from the rib that he had taken from Adam. God then brought her to Adam. "At last!" Adam exclaimed. "She is part of my own flesh and bone. She will be called a woman, because she was taken out of a man. This is why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined with his wife. The two are then united into one. Though Adam and his wife both were naked, neither of them felt ashamed."